How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, we have some topics to touch on. First things first, I want to say sorry if there's any loud noise in the background. I'm obviously at my family's place. I'm not sure what they're doing downstairs. Hopefully they don't interrupt. I didn't tell them I was making a video. Usually I'll warn them, but this time I didn't. But I think they're all downstairs, so I don't think they'll come in. Maybe my brother Mason will. He said to give him a shout out. He can get very annoying sometimes, so there's a shout out. Really excited to bring you guys this video today, talking about when the NMSU and UNM rivalry game will take place next year, and a new player that the Aggies offered out of high school. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to talk about the biggest news first, the rival basketball game that takes place every year, once a year now, instead of twice a year. Although after this year, this is the end of the 2-year, test. As you guys know, we always play the Lobos twice, but last season we only played them once. This upcoming season, only going to play them once. And after that, maybe we'll go back to playing them twice again. Maybe we'll stick with just once a year. Or there's always a chance we don't play them at all. We'll get into that. But we do play against the Lobos at home at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, so that's great. We play them on Saturday, November 15th. So this will fall toward the beginning of the season, which would have been the same way it would happen a few years back, and then the whole Mike Peake stuff happened. Now the games are taking place in December. That's what they've done a lot of times in the past. More than likely, this will be about the third or fourth game of the season. I believe November 3rd will be opening night. Probably play against some Division II school. Hopefully get an easy win. I'm sure we'll play about one or two more games after that, whether on the road or at home, not too sure. But I'm assuming this UNM game will be our third or fourth game. I'm sure following that we'll play in some little tournament and hopefully get some wins there. Because we haven't had a lot of, neutral wins in the past few years. We always seem to lose in different little tournaments we play in throughout the season. And losing the CUSA tournament. So hopefully we can get some wins in those non-away or home games. Both teams are going to look somewhat new. We still have some of our coaching staff returning, obviously Coach Hooten, but UNM's got a new coach. Patino went to Xavier, as you guys know, and UNM, they actually have a really good coach from UCSD, who helped UCSD do really great things, make the NCAA tournament this past year, just like Patino did. So still a great coach. I don't think he's as great as Patino, but he's going to still be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if UNM's still a top team in the Mountain West. I don't think they'll be number one in the Mountain West. They could always prove me wrong. I still think they'll be a top 4, top 5 team. I know that's a rival, but I still give credit when credit's due. But I think we're going to be really good as well. I think we'll also be about a top 4 or 5 team, or even top 3 possibly in our conference. And who knows? I've seen some of their teams improve and get better. FIU, not sure how great they're going to be. UTEP might be about the same. They always have good coaching and stuff. We'll just have to see how it lines up. That's more of a prediction video I can make toward the season before it starts and stuff in, late October, early November, whenever we're playing some, scrimmage games and stuff. And there's always those secret scrimmages as well, kind of to see how teams fare up against each other. Like I was saying earlier, and as you guys know, obviously we play against the Lobos twice a year for the longest time. These past 2 years, it's only been once, and there's talk that we might not play against the Lobos at all. I would hate that. I think we should at least play them once, but I also understand us not playing them twice. I feel like a lot of people are upset about that, including myself. I would love to play against them twice, don't be wrong, but it also kind of makes sense. I've touched on this a few times, but I'll kind of just go over it again. Especially now that we'll probably be playing 20 conference games in Conference USA with more teams joining each year, and UNM playing in a big Mountain West conference. They're playing a lot of conference games. If you play against your rival twice, that kind of, limits opportunities to play against other teams. And so I think it kind of makes sense in that regard, but not playing at all would be kind of crazy. I know with UTEP, we always play them twice, regardless if they're in the conference or not. But there's even been slight talk I've heard of us, only playing them once when they're out of our conference. Which again, I would like to play them twice, but I can also understand only playing once. I feel like playing your rivals once should always be the case. I feel like it's the case with most rivalries, especially in the, for bigger schools and stuff. Playing them none at all would be crazy. So hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but I guess anything can happen. It'll be just great playing the Lobos back at home. We beat them 4 out of the past 6 times on the road at the Pit, so that's cool. At home, I know the past 2 times we lost them at home. In 2021, we lost them at home, but then beat them on the road with that Nate Pryor shot, which was crazy. Nate Pryor wasn't a bad player at all for the Aggies, but he only averaged about 3 points a game. Was kind of at the end of the rotation. Wasn't a guy you would expect to make that type of shot, but that was great for him, incredible for sure. As you guys know, during the 2023-24 season, we played against the Lobos at home, and that was the day right before the bowl game for football. So not a lot of people were there, but I was there. The Aggies lost by 1 point, unfortunately. Had really good defense on Jalen House and Donovan Dent, but then they had a crazy finish to the game. Both played very well. Were able to win the game by 1. And like we touched on last video, Femi Udikali did not play that game. I feel like if he would have played, definitely would have won that game. But it is what it is. We beat him the next year. But we definitely could have beaten him these past 2 times and could have been our last time at home. This would be my last year at NMSU before I graduate. So I would love to see the Aggies get a home win against the Lobos in basketball. That's something I haven't seen yet, obviously. My first year, and we obviously didn't play against them. Second year, they lost at home. And then the third year, with the one, game a year, they played over there at Albuquerque, so I didn't see it. So I would love to see that happen. I've already seen the Aggies beat them in football a few times, one at home. This next year, they played it over there in Albuquerque. Maybe I'll go to that game. Not sure if I'll make a really, a vlog over it. I don't really do those style of videos anymore, but maybe if it's a travel vlog, maybe I will. In that rivalry game, though, it's going to be, some new faces for both sides. So I expect our returners and UNM's returners to kind of be somewhat familiar with it. I expect big games from Gabe Pickens and Jacoby Osborne. Marvin Cox was actually, he was obviously part of the team last year, but didn't get in the game. So if he does get in the game, I don't expect him to be like, super great just because it'll be his first big rivalry game playing in it instead of just being on the sidelines. But I do expect Gabe and Jacoby to step up and be really big leaders, not just in that game all season long. And same with Marvin Cox. I feel like he can also be a leader for us, assuming he's staying and stuff. And I'm not sure how many minutes he'll get, but maybe he could kind of be similar to what Keelan did his first year playing. Marvin Cox will technically be a sophomore. He'll be a redshirt freshman, so it'll be his first year actually getting PT. And hopefully he can make the most out of it and, just make the most out of every opportunity that he gets. We had guys last year like Xavier Johnson, Christopher Baiku. Didn't get in the game a whole lot, but when they did, they made the most out of it. So I'm hoping for Marvin Cox to do the same. I also want to touch on Delan Grant, who's a player that we offered. He plays for St. Francis in California. He's a high school player, class of 2026, so he'll be graduating next year, right when I'm graduating college. So if he does play for the Aggies or any college program he goes to, I'll be out of college, removed. I'm sure I'll still be covering the Aggies, maybe even working for them. That'd be cool. Still watching all their games and stuff. So he's a great player, plays for Compton Magic as well, AAU-wise. He's done a lot of great things, super athletic, can get up there. I made a post about him yesterday on my social media accounts. Don't know a whole lot about him stats-wise, but I do know he's a captain on his team at a really good school, both academically and sports-wise, specifically basketball. I believe St. Francis, if you guys have seen the movie Coach Carter, they're recognized in that film with how great they are in basketball. So super cool for him, and hopefully he chooses to go to the Aggies. Go Aggies. And shout out to Jacob for the shirt again, my roommate. I really like this shirt. It's a nice long sleeve shirt, and I like wearing it in the videos and just in general. That's going to close it out for the video today. Make sure to mark your calendars for Saturday, November 15th to catch the Aggie game. I don't think the time's been announced, but I'm pretty sure it'll be at 7 p.m. like most of our games are. Hopefully we can get a win against the Lobos. I don't know when the last time we beat them at home was. You guys can let me know in the comments if you guys know. I just know we haven't beat them, the past 2 times at home, but I know we beat them on the road the past, 2 out of the last 3 times. Obviously, that one time we lost them and got blown out really, really bad by 44 points, 106-62. But that was that, rebuild team on the road against, in a hostile environment with so many people, showing them the finger and stuff. And then we almost bounced back and beat them at home 2 weeks later. And then last year got a big win against them. And I feel like this next year is going to be super, super even. Because even this past year we beat them, obviously UNM was a better team, but we just seemed to beat them, and that was great. This next year I think it's going to be really even. We're going to be at home. I would love to beat them again. I know I talked to some people. They said that if we would have played them twice last year, like usual, they think we wouldn't have swept them. I think we would have lost at home, and we were a little bit worse on at home this past year. But I like to still think that we beat them, and I like to think that we can beat them this upcoming year as well. Obviously, both teams are still not fully developed yet, but we'll see as time goes on who the better team is. That game will do wonders and show who the better team is, or at least who the better team is at the time. And obviously, we talked about Delan Grant. That was kind of just something to add in there for the video. Just some little news. Obviously, if he decides to sign with the Aggies anytime soon or just in the future, we'll make a video on it. And Pascal Siakam and the Indiana Pacers did get a win last night. A great comeback, to beat the Knicks last night. So they're up 1-0. If they win tomorrow, they go 2-0, and they'll only be 2 games away from making the finals and giving Pascal Siakam a chance to win his second championship. I believe Pascal had 17 points last night. Was scoreless toward the end of the game, didn't score in the overtime, I believe, but had a good game overall, and he's been playing well in the playoffs overall, averaging about 17, 18 points a game, which isn't what he's accustomed to. He's usually a guy that can average 20 or more, but he just fits the Pacers lineup so perfectly and does everything they need him to do, scoring, rebounding, all that. Doesn't always have to come in scoring, but he can be a double-double machine too when he needs to be. But that's going to close it out for the video today. Really appreciate you guys for watching the video. I think at the end of my videos, I'll probably just give updates on how Pascal and the Pacers are doing. Even though I hate the Pacers, some of their fans can be annoying. Again, I'm friends with some of them, and they're not annoying at all. It's just some other fans that can be. But I love Pascal. I love Josh Hart for the Knicks, too, because he's a former Portland Trailblazer. Obviously, the Blazers are my favorite team. Me being from Portland, Oregon, as you guys know. And this is your first time watching. And if it is, and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and please like. I've been hearing some people on Instagram tell me that, hey man, you gotta put that out there more, which I feel like I have a little bit. But I'm also not dying for subs and dying for obviously it'd be nice to have, but I really appreciate you guys just for watching the videos for what it is. And if you guys want to subscribe, go ahead. It's free. If you guys want to it's also free. Go ahead. Really appreciate you guys for watching the video, and I'm out.